Hello friends, add 2 eggs to 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef in the bowl. Now season the mixture with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried garlic, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Mix everything well, making sure the seasonings are spread evenly. This way, every bite will be flavorful. Next, add 1 tablespoon of flour. Mix again. The flour helps the mixture hold its shape when we cook it. In a frying pan, melt 1/4 of a stick, or 30 grams, of butter over medium heat. And while we cook together, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Which country, state, or city? I always enjoy seeing your photos and reading your stories in the comments. It feels like we're all cooking together, no matter how far apart we are. Finely chop 1 onion. Onions may be simple, but they're full of antioxidants that protect our body and support heart health. As they cook, they soften, turn golden, and fill the kitchen with that familiar sweet aroma we all associate with home. Add the onion to the pan and let it sauté gently. Feel free to ask any questions about the recipe in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I see them. Now, grate 1 carrot. Carrots bring a lovely brightness to the dish, a touch of natural sweetness, and a warm color. They're also rich in beta-carotene, which supports healthy eyes and skin. I always find that a carrot has a way of making even the simplest meal feel more cheerful. Add it to the pan with the onion. Give everything a good stir. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking it. It's a simple way to show your support. Drizzle in a little olive oil to help the vegetables cook evenly. Once the onion and carrot are soft and fragrant, remove the pan from the heat. Transfer the vegetables into the bowl with the ground beef and stir well. The gentle sweetness of the carrot and the golden onion now blend into the meat, making the mixture more flavorful and wholesome. Now, finely chop a bunch of parsley. Fresh herbs may look small, but they make such a big difference. Parsley is rich in vitamin C and vitamin K, wonderful for immunity and bone health. As I chop, I always remember how my grandmother would sprinkle fresh herbs over almost every dish. Add the parsley to the beef mixture and give everything a good stir. Next, finely chop 3 to 4 garlic cloves. Garlic is one of those ingredients that turns any simple dish into something special. It strengthens our immune system and brings that deep, comforting aroma we all love. Friends, for more content like this, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any new recipes. Add it to the beef. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap. Let it rest in the refrigerator for 20 to 30 minutes. While the meat is resting, let's prepare the potatoes. Heat some olive oil in a frying pan. Slice 3 to 4 large potatoes into neat circles. Potatoes are so simple, yet they give us energy and comfort. They've always been a staple at family dinners. I still remember how the whole family gathered around the table, and there was always a potato dish in the center, mashed, fried, or baked. Carefully place the slices into the pan and fry them gently. Then, sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of dried garlic. Stir constantly until the potatoes turn golden and crispy. Once the potatoes are golden and crispy, remove them from the heat. Now take a baking dish and transfer the crispy potato slices into the dish, spreading them out evenly. Now, slice a few large tomatoes into rings. They bring a wonderful freshness that softens the richness of the crispy potatoes underneath. Tomatoes are also full of natural antioxidants, especially lycopene. Arrange the slices gently on top of the potatoes. Their bright color and juiciness add both beauty and balance to the dish. Next, chop 1 red bell pepper into small pieces. I always love adding bell peppers. Their gentle sweetness and bright color instantly make a dish feel more festive, almost like a little celebration on the plate. They're also a wonderful source of vitamin C, giving us strength and supporting immunity. Scatter the chopped pepper over the tomato layer, and already the dish looks more colorful and inviting, almost like a summer garden baked in the oven. Heat a little olive oil in a frying pan. Take the beef mixture out of the fridge. Peel off the plastic wrap and begin shaping it into small oblong patties with your hands. Don't rush this step. There's something calming about pressing the meat gently, giving it form. It always reminds me of family kitchens, where my grandmother would shape each patty with such care, making sure they were firm but never too tight, so they stayed tender when cooked. Place the patties into the pan and fry them on both sides for about 5 to 7 minutes until they develop a golden, crispy crust. Once ready, transfer them carefully into the baking dish, right on top of the vegetables. Now, grate 5 ounces or 150 grams of cheddar cheese. The sharp, nutty flavor of cheddar pairs beautifully with the savory meat. Sprinkle it generously over the patties, covering them like a warm blanket. As it bakes, the cheese will melt and turn golden, giving the dish that creamy, irresistible finish we all love. Place the dish into the oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and bake for about 30 minutes. While our main dish is baking, let's put together a bright, refreshing salad. Start with half of a small cabbage, finely chop it, and place it in a large bowl. Cabbage is wonderfully light and crunchy, and it's full of vitamin C, which helps keep us strong and energized. Now add something unexpected. 6 pineapple rounds cut into small pieces. Their gentle sweetness and juicy texture bring such a lovely contrast, turning a simple salad into something cheerful and festive. Next comes the freshness. Slice 1 cucumber into half rings. That cool crunch always makes me think of summer lunches, when cucumbers were the first thing from the garden to reach our table. And finally, add some color with 1 finely chopped green bell pepper. It's crisp, bright, and full of vitamin C, giving the salad both vibrance and goodness. For the dressing, take a separate bowl and combine 4 ounces or 120 grams of Greek yogurt, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Stir everything until smooth and creamy. Pour the dressing over the salad and mix thoroughly so every piece of vegetable and pineapple is lightly coated. This simple, fresh salad is not only colorful, but also full of vitamins and flavors that complement our warm, comforting main dish perfectly. When the baking time is up, carefully take the patties with vegetables out of the oven. The cheese is melted, golden, and bubbling. The whole dish looks so inviting. Place a few patties onto a plate. Add some of the roasted vegetables alongside. Don't forget a generous spoonful of the fresh, colorful salad. Now comes the best part, tasting. I hope this recipe brings the same joy to your table as it always brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today, but that's not all. I have a second, equally delicious recipe for you. Let's start with a bowl containing 1.5 pounds or 700 grams of ground beef, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of rosemary. finally, crack in 1 egg to bring everything together. Now, in a blender, add 1 cup or 125 grams of oatmeal. Blend until it turns into fine flour. Oats are so good for digestion and heart health. A little wholesome touch in this dish. Transfer the oat flour into a bowl. Then stir in half a cup or 120 milliliters of warm cream. Mix until smooth and creamy. Then pour this mixture into the bowl with the beef. It will make the meat juicy and soft. Next, finely chop 1 onion. Onions have always been at the heart of our family kitchen. No matter what dish my mother was making, she always began by chopping an onion. She used to say it gave the food its soul. And she was right. Onions bring not only sweetness and warmth, but are also rich in antioxidants that support the heart and strengthen the immune system. I can still remember the smell of onions gently sizzling in the pan, filling the whole house with that cozy aroma, the very first sign that a comforting meal was on its way. Now, pour a little olive oil into a frying pan. Sauté the onion gently over medium heat for 3 to 4 minutes, just until it softens and turns golden. While it cooks, grate 2 garlic cloves on a mini grater. Garlic adds that rich, unmistakable aroma, and it's one of nature's best immune boosters. It helps the body fight off colds, supports heart health, and has been treasured in kitchens for centuries. I always smile when I grate garlic. Its scent instantly fills the air and makes everything feel warmer and cozier. Add it to the pan and fry for another 2 to 3 minutes. Transfer this fragrant mixture into the bowl with the ground beef. Next, slice 4 to 6 potatoes into very thin circles. There's something timeless about potatoes. They've been at the heart of family dinners for generations, humble, hearty, and full of goodness. Rich in potassium, they give us strength while wrapping us in that cozy feeling of home. Next, grease a baking dish with a little olive oil and then carefully arrange the potato slices in a spiral pattern along the bottom. I always enjoy this step. It feels almost like decorating, and it makes the dish look as beautiful as it tastes. Now return to the bowl with your ground beef. Mix it thoroughly with a spoon, or even better, with your hands. There's something about mixing meat by hand that feels so honest and traditional, the way generations before us always did. Shape the beef into even-sized meatballs, rolling them gently between your palms. I always find this step calming. It reminds me of helping my mother in the kitchen, when she'd show me how to make each meatball the same size so they'd cook evenly. Place the meatballs carefully on top of the potato bed, almost like little jewels resting on a golden base. This way, as they bake, the juices from the meat will soak into the potatoes, making them tender, flavorful, and absolutely irresistible. For the sauce, take a small bowl and add 4 ounces or 120 grams of Greek yogurt. Season it with 1 teaspoon of oregano and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then finely chop a bunch of fresh parsley, bright, green, and packed with vitamins. It always makes me think of summer gardens and the joy of picking herbs fresh. Add the parsley to the yogurt. Pour in half a cup of water and stir until smooth. Pour this fragrant sauce evenly over the meatballs and potatoes, letting it soak into every layer. Then place the dish into the oven and bake at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. While the main dish bakes, let's prepare a fresh salad. In a large bowl, add a few generous handfuls of mixed salad greens. Finely chop 1 bell pepper. I love how its sweetness and crunch remind me of summertime gardens, when peppers were picked fresh and still warm from the sun. Add it to the bowl. Slice 3 to 4 mini cucumbers into rings. Crisp, cool, and refreshing. Cucumbers always bring that clean, fresh bite to a salad. Add them in. Cut 5 to 6 cherry tomatoes in half. Their bright color and juicy sweetness feel like little bursts of sunshine on the plate. Toss them in. Next, take one avocado, cut it in half. Dice it into cubes. Creamy, rich in healthy fats, and full of vitamins, avocado makes the salad feel indulgent while still nourishing the body. Add it to the bowl with the rest of the vegetables. Take the dish out of the oven. Grate 7 ounces or 200 grams of cheddar cheese. Sprinkle the cheese generously over the top. As it bakes, cheddar melts into a golden bubbling layer, sharp, creamy, and irresistible. Return the dish to the oven for another 20 minutes, just until the top is beautifully golden. While that finishes, let's make a quick dressing. In a small bowl, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix until smooth. Pour this fragrant dressing over the salad and toss everything gently. Take the meatballs and potatoes out of the oven. Finely chop a few stalks of fresh green onions. Sprinkle them over the top for a burst of color and a gentle, oniony freshness. Now it's time to serve. Place a generous spoonful of the tender golden potatoes on a plate. Nestle a few juicy meatballs right on top, and add a bright scoop of our fresh salad on the side. The combination is simply beautiful. Rich, savory meatballs, creamy potatoes with a hint of cheese, and a crisp, colorful salad to balance it all. This is the kind of dish that feels like home, hearty, nourishing, and made to be shared. I hope it brings your home the same warmth and happiness it always brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking!